In this problem, we're given the length of a string n and a string that's been encrypted. So how this has been done is we take a look at n and we find all its divisors from n to 1, and we want them in decreasing order. And what we'll do is then for each divisor d in decreasing order, we will reverse the substring from 1 to d. So what does all this mean? So let's say we're given the string Codeforces, right? So S is Codeforces. We know that S has a length of 10. And now let's look at its divs. And that would be 10, 5, 2, and 1. So what happens is we will now do rev from 1, so from 1 to 10, then we'll do rev from 1 to 5, then we'll reverse from 1 to 2, and finally reverse from 1 to 1. And then our new string s prime that we get is going to be this. So we're given s prime and n, and we want to somehow get s. So essentially we just have to do all of this, but in the opposite way. So once we have all of these divs, what we have to do, we want them in increasing order now. So 1, 2, 5, and 10. And now we do the exact same steps. So we just do reverse from 1 to 1, reverse from 1 to 2, reverse from 1 to 5, and reverse from 1 to 10. And this will lead us to S. And that's the whole problem. So first thing first, we're given an integer n and a string s. So now given n, we want to get all the divs. So we make a set called div, and I'll call this, div. And then for int I equals 1, while I times I is less than equivalent to n plus plus I. So this is a fast way where in root n time you can find all its divs. And what you check is if n mod I equals 0, so I divides n, then we can insert I into div, and we also have to insert n over I. Yep, so now that we found all the divs, what we can do is just say auto iter equals div.begin, and then while we aren't at the end of our set, what we can do is let's call something len, which will be the value at that point in the set, and then we just reverse from s dot begin to s dot begin plus len, and then we increase our iter by 1, and then hopefully at the very then we just see our s. Now why does this work? When we insert in a set will store everything in this order. So while we go through the set, we first go to 1, 2, 5, and 10. And so then that's what happens when we increase iter. And then when we reach div.end, we break out of the loop, and by that time we should have s. So let's check if that works. Oh, okay, it's integers. Okay. Codeforces. This is example 2. And Z. Submit. Problem B. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is right because I had an audio issue with this one. And yep, voila.